Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tilson Live. It is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, as we are each and every week to talk about all things building custom homes on your land. I am one of your hosts, Eric Allard, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family, coming at you live, as we do, with the great, the marvelous, the wonderful Dawn Dantzler, Vice President of Marketing and Customer Experience for Tilson Homes. Good afternoon, Dawn.
Hey, Eric. How's it going?
It is going wonderful, wonderful. More rain yesterday. It's raining in August. We are lucky here in Texas. It's green as it's ever been in August, as long as I can remember. So, yeah, all is well. We got people buying houses. We got new models opening up. We have ice cream socials happening. We did. Some of y'all missed out.
Yeah.
With all the toppings. Shout out Waxahachie team.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, tons of fun. So, but yeah, folks, jump into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from you. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook. It is Tilson Tuesday. It's 2 o'clock. It's all the alliterations we have for you. It's 2 o'clock Tilson Tuesdays. YouTube, little alliteration interruption in the middle. But we want to hear from you. We want to talk about all things building on your land. Do you have questions about construction? Do you have questions about design? Do you have questions about finance? Do you have questions about customizations? Do you have questions about permitting, site preparation, culverts, septic systems, water wells, energy codes, spray foam, fireplaces, all the things that go into making these homes your own? We want to hear from you. Design changes, multi-generational living, alternative dwelling units. What other buzzwords could I throw out that Google might pick up? What else could we say? Anyway, jump into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, and what part of the process you are in. We want to know if you are just kind of exploring this as an option, explore and build on your lot. Maybe you've done maybe your kids are getting ready to head back to school. They've been, on top of you all summer. And maybe it's time to do something different. Maybe you're on this journey. Maybe you've been to one of our design centers, made some customizations. You're going back and forth. You would say disputing with the husband and wife, but usually just this is the wife
negotiating. We're negotiating.
The wife is convincing the husband what we will be doing. Maybe you're at that stage of the discovery, or maybe you've already started this process. We've met you out there, and we've kind of laid the house out where it's going to go on your land. You're starting to complete that vision. You see where that back porch is going to be looking. You see where that master bedroom view is going to be, and maybe you're under construction. Maybe you're watching this thing unfold. Maybe you're living next door to it while it unfolds. And then maybe you're already just sitting there enjoying the view that you dreamed of this whole time, watching other folks go through this process. So whatever you are doing, jump into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you're in. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and we want to hear from you. That's the whole point. So while you drop that into the chat, Dawn will tell us what we're talking about today, one of her favorite subjects.
Absolutely. So last week we did Eric's favorite subject. So this week we're going to do mine because it's only fair. So we are going to share one of y'all's homes. So it's my absolute favorite thing to do is to see all the customizations that one of our customers made and how they're living and enjoying their new Tilson home, and just sharing that with you guys. So this week we have a gorgeous Brazoria in Kerr County to show off to you guys. This view is just absolutely goals. Like, yeah. I wouldn't be inside if I lived there. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous, but it's a great home. They made a lot of smart changes to it, and can't wait to show it off to you guys.
Yeah, so we know, obviously a lot has happened this summer in Kerr County. And it's nothing to do with the timing of us showing this. It simply is this customer wanted to share their home with us, and we want to honor them and share the house. So obviously thoughts and prayers continue to go out to the folks of Kerr County, Hunt, Texas, Kerrville, the surrounding areas. But we are very excited about sharing this home with you guys and letting you know how these people made their dream a reality out there. So do jump into the chat, folks. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. Dawn's going to talk a little bit about this Brazoria, kind of the roots of the Brazoria itself. So we want to hear a little more about that and where they might be able to go tour a model home of.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Hear a rumor. There is one.
Yes.
All right.
Who's joining us so far?
All right. So we've got Julia saying hi from Parker, Texas. Just finished stakeout and design appointments for the Gonzales C and just waiting for foundation design.
Nice.
Awesome.
Beautiful spot.
Then we have a question from the Garmin. The houses that you build in Red Oak, Ovila, are they an HOA community?
All right, so Baby Garmin, we have built homes in that. So that's in the Ellis County, kind of Midlothian, Red Oak, Ovilla area. We are a strictly build on your land builder, so we don't have production subdivision homes. We do have model homes in Waxahachie, Texas, just south on 35, kind of south on 287, on 35 from Red Oak, south on 287 from Midlothian to Ovilla. And so we can build in communities that have homeowner associations, that have architecture control committees, or we can build in unrestricted areas of the county as well. So I hope that helps with that question.
All right. Then we've got Chris saying we're building a Brazoria in Cleveland, Texas. They are starting sheetrock tomorrow.
Oh, very cool.
Awesome.
All right. So we can compare notes.
Yes. And then we've got Renata saying, hey, Eric and Dawn signed a little over 2 weeks ago and building the Fayetteville and Canyon Lake, heading to do our site evaluation tomorrow. Oh.
And you actually have a lake again now, which is really cool. That's great.
Yeah. All right. We've got Amber joining from Comfort, Texas. She's in the beginning phase and is considering the Brazoria.
Very nice. Well, this is a neighbor of yours out here in Kerr County. So
awesome. And then we've got Ann saying, do y'all know what the cost to build versus appraisal ratio in Navarro County is these days?
Oh, Ann, well, it actually varies. So the appraisal, what she's talking about is an appraisal is they take the plans and specifications of the home that we're proposing to build, and a lender will give those to an appraiser and order an appraisal, which is a comparison of prices based on other homes in the area that have sold and closed recently, usually within the last 6 months is what it needs to be. So it's going to vary by area and even in Navarro County. So obviously things around Richland Chambers Reservoir may appraise very differently than something, on 30 acres, 40 miles northwest of that. So there's not really a set appraisal ratio. I will say that as this is, what day is today? August 5th, 2025, that, not a lot of things are moving slower than they were a year or 2 or 3 ago, not nearly as slow as they were going 10 years ago, but definitely slower than they were. And so there aren't as many comps or comparable sales as there were maybe a year or 2 ago. And so that is having what we're seeing is things aren't appraising for wildly higher than what the contract amount is. They're appraising for about what the contract amount is, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, but pretty close to what the contract amount is. It really does depend on what has closed, what has actually sold, resales or new construction that has closed in and around the immediate area. I would say probably 7 to 15 miles around where you're building.
Okay. All right. We've got David with an energy efficiency question. He's wondering, is it more energy efficient to leave our air conditioners on at a constant temp all day or turn the air conditioners off when we are not home? There's a debate in his house about this.
Wait a minute. A debate. This is a trap. What does your wife need to do? Whatever she says to do is exactly what you need to be doing. But let's say that that's not the debate. Maybe it's between you and one of your children. The debate then is that they need to run. So houses are built tighter today than they were 20, 30, 40 years ago, David. So they need to run. Now, that being said, I'm all for a programmable thermostat. So, for example, let's say, during the daytime when folks are maybe away at work, I don't know that that's the situation at your house, but let's say that were the case, then I'm perfectly fine with it running up to 76, 78, even 80 degrees. If no one's there, I wouldn't be there if it's 78 or 80. But and then as folks start to come home, maybe the 4 o'clock, 4:30 time, go ahead and have it start cranking down to what you're more comfortable living around, that 72, 74 degree temp, and have that run through the night. So most of them have like a awake, away, sleep, and home settings. At 4 settings, you can program it. You don't have to, but they do need to run. The reason being is that the whole point of an air conditioner is to condition the airspace, is to extract the humidity out of there. The cold air is a byproduct. It's what helps draw that humidity out. So it does need to run. If not, what'll happen if you turn it off, and we do have customers that have like vacation homes, we definitely tell them, do not have this thing turn
off. Is not a position you want your AC in.
Off's not cool. The reason being is a lot of other things are now tied to that. So like your fresh air intake, dehumidifiers, all that is tied to the AC unit, and they're on different timers or delays they need to run. But no matter what, if you don't have any of those gadgets and gizmos, you need to run that AC. It needs to cycle at least every hour, maybe a couple times an hour, just to make sure that we're drawing that stale air outside, drawing fresh air in, and also continually to condition that airspace to keep the humidity knocked down. So there's your answer, unless your wife says otherwise.
Awesome. Okay. And Julia asked, would it be more economical to bring in more dirt to elevate the build site prior to pouring the slab versus pouring a thicker, taller slab? I found out my base flood elevation per FEMA is 24 inches.
It could, but not necessarily. So we can shoot those grade shots and actually get bids for you, Julia, and we can actually find out unequivocally which is the more cost-effective route to go, whether it's building it up with slab or foundation or bringing in dirt. In some cases, if the land, this is kind of a weird thing to think about, if the land is like perfectly flat, in some of those situations, it actually is cheaper to just raise it with concrete.
Okay.
The times we see it where it's more economical to do it with dirt if it slopes quite a bit. So let's say that like the high side of the house over here is maybe we only bring it up 8 or 12 inches to meet that 24 inch. And then, but on the low side, we got to bring it up maybe, 24 or 30 inches, but you're only using half the amount of dirt. Whereas if it's perfectly flat and we got to build the whole thing up 24 inches, you're using more dirt to do that. So, but we can shoot those grades for you, and then we can collect those bids and just present them to you and say, hey, here's what it would cost to do it with slab. Here's what it would cost to do it with dirt. Which way you want to go?
Yeah. So that's actually what they'll be doing tomorrow at your site evaluation, is taking those grade shots for you. All right. And we've got Misty saying hello from Hood County, enjoying our San Jacinto XL. Hey, Misty. Good to see you again. And then we've got Tessie sharing that she's in Center Point too. So awesome.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Neighbors.
All right.
All right. We've got Juan saying building the LaPorte in Colorado County, got our construction drive put in and utilities marked, and had our construction date pushed up to November 3rd. Awesome.
There we go. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And then we've got Jana saying, hi, I'm just starting, looking for a floor plan that fits, looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 to 2,000 square foot split layout in Matagorda County. Any suggestions and possibly average price per square foot?
Well, there's lots and lots of options for sure. But 1,500 to 2,000 square feet that's a big range for us. There's a lot of plans in there. I mean, I love the Tampico in there. The Tampico is fantastic as far as split floor plan. But I also, that's what else would be in there, Dawn? What's in the what does the Arlington start at? Even the Refugio.
Yeah, so look at the Refugio would be a good one. The Arlington, it's going to start at like 1,800 square feet, so it's right there in the middle. That's a good one too.
It's split kind of front to back. The Refugio and the Tampico would be a true split floor plan. And then price wise, maybe Dawn has that handy in Matagorda County, which would include the windstorm. But they won't be by the square feet, John. It'll just be an actual straight price. The good news is you can go tour both Arlington and the Refugio there in Angleton, not far from Matagorda.
Yeah, so your Arlington's going to start, and again, today is August 5th, 2025. In Matagorda County with that windstorm, the Arlington's going to start at about 317,000. I'm not giving you a price per square foot because we don't price that way. We price based on the actual cost of the home because the layout is going to really affect what that cost is going to be. And let me find the Refugio for you. That one is going to start at around 252,000. So you've got quite a range in there, the options that you're looking for. So yeah, going out to our Angleton office and taking a look at those two plans would be great. And then they can kind of talk to you a little bit more about, exactly what you're looking for in a floor plan and help you narrow down some of those options. You can reach out to one of our new home specialists. They can make an appointment. All right. We've got J Max saying, howdy guys. Sitting in the doctor's office watching y'all. Got a closing date at the end of the month.
Oh, nice.
Great. Oh, that's so exciting. Congratulations. We got Jennifer, who's building a rock wall in Atascosa County. We just had our stakeout today. We've seen options for flooring and cabinet stains that we were not shown in our design appointment. Where can we see all options? So your design center should have had all of the options for those things. Just might be some of the cabinet stains might be in smaller samples in there. So just if you call them up and ask, they can show you what we've got. And if they don't have them in physical samples, they can show you online, but they should have had everything there. We've got Dustin saying hello from Somerset. We're building a bear. Just finished the design appointment and stakeout. Kim Laxton and Bernie has been amazing. Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
We got Lisa saying, hi there. We're building in Hamilton County and should be getting the slab poured in September. We're building our own plan, but it's very similar to the Lone Star.
Okay.
Can't wait to get this party started.
Cool.
Awesome.
That's
Cool.
great.
Can't wait to see that. We got Kathy saying, hey, y'all, building the Angelina B in Angelina County. We are close to the end and are in love with it and how easy the process has been. Oh, thank you, Kathy.
Awesome.
All right. And let's see. Tessie is also sharing that, yes, Kim is the best. We love her. She was our salesperson. Now she is our friend forever. Yes, she is definitely that kind of person.
She's incredible. Yeah.
That she is awesome. But let's go ahead and start talking about this house because I know that's what you guys
why?
are here for.
Do continue to drop your questions in the chat, folks. We will answer every
Absolutely.
one of them. So yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys and we'll get it done.
All right. So the Brazoria, it is one of our homes that has 5 exterior elevation options. So we've got our standard brick gable, which is the elevation A. You've got a Craftsman elevation in the B. You've got the traditional farmhouse with 3 dormers, huge front porch. That's elevation C. Elevation D is a Texas ranch style, which is a mix of stone and board and batten with rough sawn accents. And then elevation E is more of I'm not sure what we call this. I don't know. It's what drafting came up with. They had a name for it, and I can't recall it, but it's got it's a brick pattern. It's got some nice herringbone up there, and there it's got high ceilings, high roof lines, just something that we're seeing more common now. And I cannot remember the architectural name, so if anybody knows, drop it in the comments.
The more comfortable with the subdivision type home E.
It's E. And E is actually the elevation that we built as the model in the spring location. So it is a brick exterior. They chose to paint it in the spring office, but it does have some herringbone up in those gables. And you've got, places where the brick is extending. So it's got some texture and variation there. And then you've got some rough sawn accents in there as well. And you can go and see that it is ready for
to be
shown and viewed. And we are actually doing photography and everything later this month. And we'll be looking to grand open it sometime in September. So
pretty stoked about it.
Beautiful home. But the general Brazoria layout, it is very similar to our Magnolia plan, which you may have seen in Katie. So this is the next generation of that. But it is a 3-bedroom plus a study and a 2.5 bath, just a little bit over 2,300 square feet. It is a true split floor plan. So you've got that master suite on the opposite side of the home from all of those secondary bedrooms. And then even that study is off by itself. So everybody's got privacy in their own areas. None of the bedrooms share a common wall. So that's really good about this plan. You've got that open concept kitchen, family room, dining area happening with it. And then you also have a very generous walk-in pantry and a utility room space in that big back covered porch.
Yeah, very nice.
So wonderful home. The changes that the customer made, they really wanted that farmhouse vibe, but they didn't need the front view because their view is to the back. So they actually did go with our A elevation. So you'll see when we get into the video that they made some changes to the exterior. Instead of the brick, they did a board and batten look. They also went with the alternate kitchen layout, which gives them a little bit of a larger island in the home and also separates the cooktop from the oven. So it moved the oven and microwave over into a wall and gave them a large cooktop area, and then also did some rearranging of the cabinets. They also chose to do the alternate utility location. So instead of having it over by the pantry near the garage, they moved it so that it's over by the master suite And what that did is kind of rearrange the closet space in the master bedroom as well. So they now have that utility room near the master bath, and it's accessed directly through the master closet. So you can get to it from the hall and the closet. So just easier use of space when you want to do that. They went very, very large with their rear porch. And when we get into the video, you'll see why. So
look at
as
the scale
part
of
of
the family
that,
room. Like it's
yeah, it's huge. Like it's the biggest part of the house. So they did add a door off of their master bedroom onto that large porch. And then they also changed all the windows in the back of the home. So all of these are larger windows than come standard in the plan, is what you're going to see. They started with the extended rear porch option that is available for the Brazoria, and then we're just like, keep going, extend it all the way the length of the master bedroom. Let's add another 10 feet deep. Like they just kept going. So it's beautiful outdoor living space. And then in that area where the utility room was on the standard plan, they did go ahead and add in a drop zone because they also put in that front load garage. So they've got that space where they can drop everything as they come in. And then they also have an extra space for an extra fridge in there, and anything else they want to do.
all right.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and look at this gorgeous home, and you guys keep dropping in your questions.
Welcome to another episode of the Tilson Tours. I'm Eric. This is Scott and Brenna Johnson, and we are in their Brazoria in Kerr County. Thank you for doing this video, guys. So I'm going to start with the outside. In your particular case, just to give a little background, we did the A, which is normally a brick elevation of gables. You guys did what to the outside of that?
Well, we extended the patio to make it the full length of our house, so that we would have this amazing view out there.
Sure.
And
on the front side, we did what to make it look like?
We went to the board and bat exterior.
Okay, so more like a farmhouse look, right? But without the porch that the other elevations might have. Okay. And we did some other rough wood looks. We did some rough wood trim, rough wood shutters. What kind of look were we going for there?
We were looking for the rustic look, so we went with the corbels over the windows and some of the other posts on the front porch.
Perfect. And tell me about your roof.
Oh yeah, the roof, we went with a metal roof. We swapped out from the composite shingles, and Tilson put that on, and that really went well.
Color?
We went to the green to kind of let it blend in with the surroundings.
Okay.
I want to put a plug in here because Eric helped us get that roof and made it work for our home, and thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you. And so one of the reasons we used that exterior was because we were able to achieve that same kind of rustic farmhouse look without the same cost of the C elevation. So that's something that we were able to modify in your case.
Right.
Because we wanted to spend more money on the patio.
Places.
All right, great.
Exactly.
So we're standing right here in the kitchen. Let's move on to the kitchen for a second. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the highlights in here?
Well, some of the highlights in here is that I needed to have a gas range. So initially the stove and oven were going to be here, but we reconfigured the kitchen to put a gas range and the vent hood in here. And then I needed to have a lot of drawers. So we went around and had Eric put in a lot of the drawers in the kitchen. The drawer space is just magnificent for storing your pots and pans, and even our spices are in there on spice racks. And then on the background, we chose this brick look, and we chose to take it up to the top, and heard this morning that some person thought that it looked more like a chimney going all the way up to the top. So we were excited to hear that.
And that's a tile, so not an actual brick, but a great tile that we can use here, and we will be seeing that in another place in the house.
One of the things we did was Eric suggested to bring it all the way to the top, because I think we were stopping it short and it looked kind of funny, but I'm super pleased with it now. It looks great.
Excellent.
And then we kind of reconfigured over on this side. So one of the great things that we loved about Tilson is that Tilson allowed us to do a lot of not only upgrades, but what we envisioned our home to be, and do a lot of different configurations. So this is one of the different configurations. We brought the refrigerator over to the end. We had the double oven with the microwave that also can act as a convection oven as well. And we added more cabinets at the top above the oven and the refrigerator.
And we also extended the island. We made the island a little bit bigger too.
Excellent. And looks like we did a custom choice for the sink as well.
Yeah.
How's that working out for you?
Perfect. Works great.
We love it. We chose a black sink to go with our black and white look of the house on the outside.
And then we got the surprise where Tilson put in the automatic phone recharger. We didn't know about that, so thank you very much.
And plug.
And the plug.
And I see that our island is a different color than the rest of the kitchen, so that helps that to stand out, become a focal point.
Yep.
Yes, and one of the neatest things, if we can come around and show you this,
Okay.
this is where you hide all your sponges and things in your tilt-out tray in front of your sink.
Excellent. Well, let's move on to the family room.
All right.
So here we are in your family room. So let's talk a little bit about this. We'll start with, you guys were considering a fireplace. We obviously have several options. What did you end up with and why?
Well, we went with the electronic fireplace because we felt like it would, A, we wouldn't have to clean up the ashes, but B, that it would give us more room in the room because we didn't have to have a hearth in front of it. And that's why we went with that.
And then one other thing about this family room is where it's located in the house, we have this wonderful view. Why don't you tell us about that?
And let's got to.
Oh, well, that was the whole point of the house. In designing the house with Eric, we originally started, the house was a lot lower, and in doing the final design with the foundation that ended up being designed, we're a lot higher than we were, so the view is just absolutely a huge bonus. And we get all kinds of compliments from all of our friends. We've had several parties out on the patio already, so it's a lot of fun. And the view is just, it's just an absolute blessing that we got it, so it's really great.
It is a beautiful view, so that's awesome. All right, well, let's move on to the master then.
All right.
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
It's like looking at two different houses, maybe at the front of this house and the back of the house. It's wild.
I know, but like we were talking, they were looking for that kind of farmhouse field, but obviously they're not spending any time on the front porch. The
Nope.
view is in the back.
Nope.
So it was a great choice to go ahead and go with that A elevation and just swap out all that brick for the board and batten. You get that same look. You add in all the rust on elements that you have on a farmhouse, and you're getting that vibe. And then you can put, like they were talking about, put all the money on that back porch
Sure.
instead of paying for it to be on the front.
Looks
So
awesome.
yeah, just wonderful choices there. And then here is their gorgeous kitchen. And like they were talking about, you've got that brick tile backsplash that allows you to have that brick element without having all the expense of having to haul all the brick out there, since you didn't have it on the exterior. And like I mentioned, this is the alternate kitchen, so they did get that bigger island and the separate cooktop. With the oven and everything on those cabinet walls. And they made a lot of smart choices that I don't know if a lot of people know, that with your kitchens, you can sit there and customize them all they want. So like they were talking, they went ahead, they didn't want the lower cabinets on that cooktop wall. So they went ahead and substituted drawers in for those. And then she was showing off her tilt out tray, which is really smart, keeps everything nice and clean. So yeah, just a great kitchen, great changes that they made there for their lifestyle. And I had never seen the black sink before, so that was kind of cool.
I love it. Yeah, it looks
to
sharp.
see. Yeah. It's
Very
very neat. And then they were showing off, now we do the pop-up outlets to meet with code. But yeah, that is a phone charger as well. So it's a magnetic charger, just lay your phone on top and it'll charge while you're doing all your cooking or your dishes or whatever. So
Yep. Little tilt out tray in front for the
mhm.
the scrub brushes and whatnots. So very nice. Thought of everything. And can we also right now just quickly celebrate Eric McKiernan's 20th anniversary with Tilson Homes?
Yes, absolutely. That was a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah.
so happy to have him and so excited for him and glad
He's
he's
just so
been here
like
this
chill
long.
and relaxed. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
This is what we do. No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
We just do the things. And here is their gorgeous family room. Again, they went with that electric fireplace, and you see that brick tile there again, that you get to see. You get that brick look and feel, but like they said, it doesn't take up as much space as a solid brick or a solid fireplace does. So just gorgeous. And then, yeah, made all of those windows bigger because look at the view. Like, well, how could you not?
Yeah, it's crazy. I also enjoyed the casual little humble brag of the John Deere headed down the hill. Like, I'm an orange tractor guy. I wouldn't spend the dollars on the green, John Deere green. So I'm always envious when I see somebody cruising around in one. Just couldn't justify it for the amateur that I am, the pretend farmer, pretend rancher that I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good
All
time.
right.
All right, we got a couple questions, I think.
We do. We've got Amy saying got spray foam and starting drywall out on our Arlington and Bernie. I do have a question. We have had the pre-drywall inspection, post-spray foam inspection. We were told that there's no roof inspection. Is this the case? I guess I assume that would be one of the inspections given the importance of the roof.
The roofs are hit or miss, Amy. You've seen one, you've seen them all. No. So
Jokes.
That's actually a very good question. And yeah, so the frame, the inspection that's done out there, they're inspecting obviously for energy code. They're inspecting for the frame, which they're inspecting the roof with the roof framing. And so the good thing about building a house in a very linear and serial fashion like we do, if there's a roof leak, we're going to know. There's really no way to inspect. So when you hear about roof inspections that are being done, like in subdivisions, they're usually like a post hailstorm, or like an insurance company coming out to inspect on an older or used home. They're looking to see basically how much longer is it going to last. You have a brand new roof with brand new shingles. So they're not looking for like granular loss. They're not looking for, all that kind of stuff. What they're really looking for is, are the rafters done the way they said they're going to be done? Is there decking there? Are there spacers between the pieces of the 4x8 sheets of OSB decking? Like they're inspecting for framing code. There's not really a way for an inspector to go inspect the roof. The only place that really is done is like down in windstorm areas. They'll inspect the nail pattern, and they'll really only pull up 2 or 3 shingles to do that, because really the last thing you want to do once the shingles are laid down is start pulling them up, because they actually have like a little, if you ever see them installed, there's like a plastic tab, almost like an envelope, the ones you don't have to lick, the new era envelopes that your kids don't have to lick the nastiness of. So you peel that away, and when you lay that on every shingle, as the sun hits it, they literally glue themselves to one another, forming kind of a one membrane. And you don't really want to go separating that unless you absolutely have to in the event of a leak. Beautiful part about the open cell spray foam that we use is that a leak will manifest itself in the attic, and we can see it. You'll be able to see a stain, kind of like you would on sheetrock or something like that. So we will know. And of course, they're going to come back and do a final inspection. So they'll get in the attic and make sure that the mechanicals are in the places they're going to be, the HVAC, the catwalk's there. And yeah, they'll look around with flashlight. And if they see a stain, or we see a stain, or you see a stain, we're going to need to take care of it. But roof inspections, the way that you hear them talked about, are for used homes. They're for older homes, homes that have suffered or sustained some type of wind damage, hail damage, something like that. That's what a roofing inspection is for. Hope that helps explain.
Awesome. And Brandon is sharing that is an amazing view. They did well. Yes, it is.
Yeah, man. You should go to Kerrville.
And then Jennifer is asking, what kind of pricing are you all getting back for upgrading to the standing seam?
So this is obviously this pricing is in the past, but you're looking for this house. It was around $30,000 or so for the whole, and I think it's like close to 3,800 square feet of slab. But that pricing varies pretty significantly across the state. And I would venture to guess that actually probably the Texas Hill Country is probably one of the least expensive places for metal roof. It's not inexpensive anywhere. Okay, let me get that out there first. It is expensive anywhere you go do it, because steel is expensive, and they are steel. And we're going to require it be a standing seam, conceal fastener roof. So no exposed fastener. We're typically requiring at least a 26, in most cases a 24 gauge metal roof. I just got very lucky that I picked the exact right way. Yeah, we did. This is a 24 gauge, which is a heavier steel. That's what we really prefer to do. And it was just under $30,000. But again, that was a year or so ago. So it can vary quite a bit depending on where you are, Jennifer. Great question.
Okay. And then Kathy is saying congratulations to Eric on 20 years.
Oh yeah.
And then Jennifer's also saying, I think we may have to make another trip to the design center. Is it an upgrade to trade the cabinets for drawers? And how can we get the stained wood ceiling on the back porch?
So yes, it is an upgrade to go from cabinets to drawers, because you got the drawer glides are more expensive than hinges. And there's more work in drawers than there are in doors, because the drawers effectively have doors on the front of them. And then you have the actual box of the drawer itself.
Right.
So yeah, they are more expensive. But I mean, they're also very useful. And then stained wood ceiling. So that is it's a product made by Woodtone called Real Soffit. And they have samples of that in your design center. So you can look at the real soffit samples. There are, I think, 4 or 5 different colors that they offer. It's a pre-stained product that comes. It's like a 1x6 V groove, tongue and groove. It's a solid wood. Like it's not hardy. Obviously, it's real, like real soffit. It's real wood. So anyway, they can offer you that and get your price on that.
Okay, awesome. Then Amy says, okay, thanks for the explanation. It seems like when the sun hits the roof, there are little glints that kind of look like exposed nails. So that is why I was curious about the roof inspection. Also be on the lookout for stains. Of course, we got all the rain here in the hill country before the roof was completed.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So understood.
All right, awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the bedrooms in this home.
Keep asking your questions.
On in the master here. So one of the things we noticed is we have the same floor so far throughout the house. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that flooring choice?
Well, this was a floor in our old home, and we really loved it. So you were able to procure it from outside of our normal vendors for us, and we're just really thrilled to have it in this home.
It's amazing, and we did it in the majority of the house, right?
Yes, correct.
Right, okay. And then here in the master, we also did a few other things. We've mentioned the view several times. So in this room, what did we do to maximize your view?
Well, one of the things at your suggestion is we upsized all the windows. I think we went from a 3x6 to a 4x7, and we did it for the bedroom and the living room, and the views are just wonderful. We get to wake up to that every morning, so it's great.
That's amazing. And because of that big patio that we did, we also added
the exit door.
We added an exit door from our bedroom. We have 2 of them. There's one here and there's one out of the kitchen also.
Sure, and we also increased the windows over there as well, so we have that
all the rear window, all the rear side of the house, the windows have been upgraded.
Perfect, excellent. All right, well, let's move on to the bathroom. All right. So here we have a master bath. Made a few key changes over here on this side for the shower. Why don't you tell me what you guys had me add in there?
Okay, so we added the river rock to the bottom, and we added a bench seat, and then we added the bar for aging in place.
And then we did a little upgrade on the faucet, so now we have the pop-out sprayer in there in a different color, so that looks amazing. And we're getting some more natural light in there. And then on this side, we took out a cabinet.
A cabinet that went right up through the middle, and we added the knee space instead, so we had more counter space to lay out all my.
I'm sure that was for Scott to get ready for work in the morning.
Blame it on Scott.
Okay, and then in your master closet over here behind this door, it actually connects to your laundry room, which we'll see when we go around to the utilities. So let's head out there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And this is our laundry room. And we chose to have our laundry room in this part of the house as opposed to where the garage entrance is, because we're empty nesters and we wanted to have access directly to our closet in our bedroom.
Yeah, we actually have that as a custom option on this house, which you liked, where it moves the utility room here, takes the 2 closets combined into one larger, and then you can access directly into that closet and your bathroom right through that door. So that worked out. So let's actually go over and take a look at the guest bedrooms now. All right, let's come on here into the bedroom. And so we noticed, so this is one of the couple of rooms in the house. We didn't do the tile. You kept carpet where?
In the 2 bedrooms.
In the 2 bedrooms.
Great.
Yeah.
A little bit better on the feet in the morning. And we made one major change in this bedroom, which is?
The barn door. And Scott, you want to show them how the barn door opens and closes?
Oh, yeah.
We chose that barn door just because we thought it would go along with our farmhouse look.
Excellent. That was great. All right, let's check out the other guest bedroom. So we have the other guest bedroom, and again, carpet in here, and not a lot of changes, but a view and some natural light.
Yeah, I think one of the changes we did was, since we put the garage in, we moved the window from here to the front, and that balances the window in the closet in our master bedroom.
Perfect.
That was something that I think we talked about when we designed it.
Excellent. Well, let's go check out the guest bath.
All right.
All right, and in this version of the house, we have this guest bath with 2 sets of cabinets. So that's going to be used how?
Well, for my grandchildren, I believe that they both want to have their own area, so they're going to each put their own incidentals in each cabinet.
Perfect, and it's a little bit bigger than a regular guest bath, so it should be plenty of room for them. So next, let's go check out Scott's sanctuary, otherwise known as the office.
All right. So there is their master bedroom, good sized room. Got large furniture in there, and then you can see they maximize those windows again to get that view and added that door out onto their back porch. So they have
I'm
access
envious.
directly.
I want a recliner or chair in our master bedroom, and Rachel is like adamantly opposed. So I go out of my
Aw.
way. Well, we have a little thing in the front of the foot of the bed like that, but and
Mhm.
of course it's all it is just a place to set things that
Yes.
no one uses. And
It's
so
where
I
you
go
put the pillows when you're not sleeping. Yeah.
correct. I go out of my way to be sure I sit on her side of the bed while she's still asleep to put my shoes and boots on to like make sure if there were if only there were a chair, if only there was some place to sit.
That's
Enough about my marriage.
that's a strategy there, Eric. Not particularly good one, but
Still win.
strategy. Okay.
Still win the long
Yeah.
run. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
But yeah, very cool look. Love the floors. Like the floors killed it.
Yeah, the floors are very nice. I'm glad
Actually,
we were
looking
able
at the last
to that for them.
pictures before this, I'm like, I don't think that's in our program. But
Well, now you know it's not. You're good at identifying the program. But yeah, that is something I love that we do offer that flexibility when there's something that you really want. As long as we can get it, we're gonna do it for you.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So there's their bathroom. This is one of the homes that, just comes standard with that walk-in shower. Because so some people are team tub, some people are not. But this is that great walk-in shower. Like they said, they added in that bench in there, and also a grab bar for aging in place, and upgraded their shower head.
And by the way,
Um,
1,000 internet points to her for saying aging in place. Like that's an
Yeah,
industry correct term.
that
Just
is
so, just so
really
y'all know, internet points are make believe. Doesn't matter. But still,
good.
much respect.
Yes, because it's a residence, so we can't be ADA compliant because we're not graded. And then, like they were mentioning, in the vanity area, this would come with a center cabinet that runs in between the two sinks. They did take that out and created a knee space so that they can sit and get ready. So that is a great touch. Customize your bathroom to make it work for you.
Very cool.
So it's very cool. And this is their master closet. So in the plan, that's you do reduce to one when you move the utility room over there, but as you can see, large enough that doesn't matter. So nice big master closet, plenty of space to keep everything in there.
It's very familiar. Flannels and blue jeans. Like this is my closet. This looks just this is me. Very cool.
And then that connects directly to that utility room. So their laundry is right there. They can access it through the master closet. And I love that they painted this a nice bright color to make it a cheerful space
cool, yeah.
to be in when you're doing your laundry. And Eric and I were envying their folding table that they have there that they put on top of their washer and dryer.
Darn. Shame the devil and tell him the truth. What do I say?
We both agreed that ours would not look like this. It would be full of stuff. We would not actually use it for
Great
what it was meant
concept,
for.
yeah.
But
It would-
yeah, it's a great
It
concept.
can hold all kinds of things that shouldn't be in
I know
there.
we can put lots of things on that surface and make sure it doesn't fall in between the washer and the dryer. Like, it might happen in my home.
Super cool idea.
But yeah, very cool.
Awesome.
And then this is their guest bedroom. So this is bedroom 1. Even though it's not quite the view that you get out of the back of the house, that is a gorgeous tree. Nice
Yeah,
big
we got a
window
big
that
live
you've
oak
got
out there. So
Yeah.
it's really pretty.
So good size room. And then the other bedroom, like they were talking, they did make a change where they moved the window from the side to the front, just to get a little bit more light in there. So yeah, good size rooms.
Yes. All about the grandbabies.
Yes. And then this is the bathroom that the grandbabies get to share. And you've got a tub shower combo in this one, and then they've got the 2 cabinets and plenty of counter space in there. So great room.
Yeah, very cool. All right.
All right.
Questions?
And let's see. We've got a few more questions. Amy is sharing that they also went with drawers on the bottom too, because nobody's got time to be crawling in the back of a cabinet. Absolutely. We've got Ed saying hello from Seattle. Can the stone used for the fireplace finish also be used on the porch and patio floors if we have leftover stone?
So not exactly, Ed. No, because as you probably can tell, unless it's a veneer, which was typically not on the fireplaces. Sometimes we'll use the veneers on like your kitchen spaces, but they're 3 inches thick, 2.5, 3 inches thick, which would be way too big to put on, excuse me, on the floors of your porches. It's not to say that there isn't a similar product offered. It may not match exactly, but we could certainly look into that. But yeah, we really can't do it with the leftover stone. Even the labor of like cutting those down, I mean, if you did that you'd be way better off from cost wise of buying actual veneer that's designed for being put on the floor. But it needs to be way thinner, like 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch thick at the most.
Okay, awesome. And then we've got Denise saying, hi, I'm late, but I do have a question. My weekly email from Wagon Hill One Trust states our closing date is October 31st. Since we did not start until June, I'm thinking this is not an accurate date. Do I need to contact them to move it, or will someone from Tilson contact them?
You don't have to contact. You're welcome to contact them, but you don't have to. They actually have weekly meetings with our closing team. So with Michelle and Lauren and Erica and excuse me, I'm sorry. And so we have Laura and Lauren, Brett and that team. So they will meet with them weekly, and we update that because it's kind of always a moving target, right? Some things are ready, some things are not. But if you will sleep better, Denise, by contacting them, feel free to do that. I also, full disclosure, took a picture of your comment and texted it to John Powers, so he knows. And you're more than welcome to reach out, but don't worry, they're not going to just you won't be able to close till the house is done. So and no one's going to ask you to do so. But I know you're always on top of your stuff, and I appreciate that organization and that security. So if you want to call them, hit them up.
All right, awesome. And then she's sharing her housing update. She has windows, siding, and timbers installed. Painting, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and shingles are in the next few weeks.
Nice.
And they are building a Canyon D in Chapel Hill. Awesome.
Very pretty. Very
Thanks for
pretty.
sharing.
That's awesome.
All righty.
Yeah,
well,
folks,
you guys
keep dropping your questions into the chat. We want to hear every single one of them. We're going to keep rolling through the video of this beautiful home.
Yeah, we're going to watch the last
I'm
video.
like hanging on till we have to be here anyway. But I'm hanging on to the view off the back porch. Like,
well, you know we're going to save it for last, but here we go.
All right, and here we have your office.
Yeah, this is where it all happens. I'm still working from home, so this has been a great addition to the house. For this office, we went with the same floor that we had before. We put in the floor plug so I can have my computer hook up, and we also modified some of the closet to get some more shelving and storage. So this is a really great place. Plus, I get the view up the hill instead of out the back.
That's perfect. And if somebody needed to, this could have been a bedroom because it's got the closet in it. But since you're working from home, works great for you.
Great, yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, let's go take a look at your dining room and then on to your patio.
We'll do it.
And here we have our dining area, which again, we mentioned briefly earlier. We made the windows larger.
Right.
We have a nice view out to the back. What else did we do in here?
We upgraded the lighting. Actually, we upgraded the lighting throughout the house, and I want to say that if you are worried about an upgrade, just find out what it costs. You can always say, I don't want to take it. Tilson is really good about allowing you to see the pricing, so don't be afraid to ask. Also, the windows out here are also tempered so that they're very difficult to break.
And we did the flooring that we were doing through the rest of the house in here. Again, amazing flooring. All right, well, let's go take a look at your patio.
All right.
All right, finally, the amazing patio.
Absolutely.
So,
Piece de resistance.
yes. So first thing, before we get to the view of your neighborhood, let's talk about what we did to the ceiling here. So,
well, we upgraded from the standard ceiling to the tongue groove stained ceiling. We've also extended the patio out from the standard floor plan. I think we came out another 10 feet or so, and we made it longer than the normal floor plan. It's about 40 feet long right now.
and we did that because of the view we have here.
Absolutely.
And so what are we doing with that space?
Partying. We have a lot of parties up here, and a lot of the neighbors they love to come out and look at their house and try to find their house from up here. So
Because you guys can see pretty much the entire neighborhood.
absolutely, absolutely.
If they can't find their house, they want to know who lives in the other house that they don't know.
But from up here, we can see the river, and again, the valley with all the homes in it. We get to see birds fly below us, which is really kind of neat. You don't see that very often. But a couple other things we did, we put in what's it called,
Block and wire. Yes, sir.
or the ceiling fans. We haven't put them in yet, and the breeze that blows up here all the time, we haven't decided if we're going to put them in, but we've got it wired that we can. Also, the LED lights that come with the house, we have them on a dimmer because a lot of the neighbors, we have a dark skies idea out here to keep the lights low so we can see the stars at night, which is really fantastic. So.
Perfect. All right, well, let's head back onto the kitchen and get wrapped up.
All right.
All right, so two last places to chat with that we didn't go into, but one of the appeals of this house is the pantry, I believe, to you. So your thoughts on the pantry?
Well, I love the pantry. It's very nice and roomy, lots of shelves, and we actually put an electrical outlet on the wall so I could put my little mini vacuum cleaner up there.
Perfect. And then there is a drop zone back there, which is where the utility room used to be before you did the option that moved it by your bedroom. So in that room, what do we have going?
Well, we have a refrigerator, I have a baker shelf, and then we did put in the bench seating with the above shelf in the blue color, like the island in that room.
Okay, perfect. And that's connected to the garage, so we use that kind of like a mud room coming in from the outside.
Exactly. It's really convenient for bringing in groceries or whatnot. We can open that door, put the groceries on the table, and then move everything into the kitchen. Works real well.
That's awesome. Well, it's an amazing house. We really appreciate you guys letting us come and do this tour today, and we appreciate you guys building with Tilson. And to those of you out there, we hope to make you part of the Tilson family very soon. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
Really cool.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Not noted here that I saw sneak peeked was the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo trophy award of some sort on the bottom left there if you're sitting at his desk. But so shout out Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Excuse me, Rodeo Houston now. But
Very nice. So yeah, this is his office, and it is isolated away from all of the rooms. So nice and private, and then he's got those large windows to enjoy the view out of the front. So
yeah, that's
very
nice.
Place to work from.
Not a bad spot to work.
Yeah. And again, those gorgeous floors that he's got in there.
Yeah, really pretty.
And then this is their dining area that is right there off of the kitchen. So plenty of space to have a table. You know, most people aren't looking for a formal dining room, so this works out really well. He's got access right to that back porch, which is clearly where they spend most of their time. You know, doing everything. And again, big, large windows, so you're really getting that view when you're enjoying your cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
And yeah, very, very generous pantry, large walk-in space. And yeah, like very smart that she went ahead and had an extra electrical outlet put in here so you can run your equipment in that space. And shout out to Bob's Big Boy
Right
out in there. Yeah. But yeah, great space to store everything.
Yeah.
And then that is that drop zone area. Again, that would have been where the utility room would have been in this house if they didn't move it to the other side, and that's got the entrance straight to the garage. But plenty of space in there to put in your extra fridge and all of that. So
Absolutely.
And then there's their garage, their little 2-car garage, which is keeping their John Deere and all of that stuff as well. So.
Of course, and the tool set up. He did like we did not do that, but he did like an epoxy finish on the garage floor. Like I'm having major garage envy. I can even see a mini split that he has put. Again, that we did not do that, but yeah.
Eric is jealous of all the toys.
Major garage envy.
Yeah.
Major garage envy. So, but anyway, yeah, truly making it your own.
Yep, absolutely.
And if the appraisal district is watching, that's not what that is. It's a fresh air intake and exhaust system. That's to get stale air.
This is not living area.
No, to get carbon monoxide from the Ranger out.
It is, yeah.
Garage. Safety situation has nothing to do.
Yeah, did not make this livable space. No extra taxes on this. No,
not on our plans. Nope.
Nope. And there is the star of the show, their rear porch. They've got the real soffit ceiling in there, and yeah, just Very, very large space, plenty of space for entertaining, wonderful views. I think it's very smart that they went with the dimmable LEDs. And I know this was filmed sometime in the spring, guys. I'm not sure the exact month, so I think that's why they're saying that it hadn't gotten hot yet. I think it might be a little different now. They may have put in those fans.
Yeah. But that's what
I
you're
know,
seeing
but
here was
yeah.
that block and wire. I
Mhm.
don't think they intend to leave this little globe fixture here. That was
Yeah,
they
the globe fixture isn't the final look. They were just trying to figure out
they
what
not
type of
quite
fans.
decided on what ceiling fan that they wanted, and so
Yeah,
we can install
yeah,
this, and it's ready to go. There's a
absolutely.
switch inside here, ready to run both the light and the fan separately. So that's
Mhm.
not a problem. We can do that.
Yep.
Yeah, the view is incredible, and yeah, like I said, it was filmed in the spring, so obviously none of the events that happened in July had occurred yet.
Mhm.
I just wanted to point that out that they yes, they party out there, and that's what it's for, what they designed it for, but it wasn't out of disrespect of any way. It's
Yeah, absolutely.
why they built the place. So it is a beautiful view,
Mhm.
no question. All right, got here.
All right, and then this is just the exterior of the home, so you can see. They mentioned they were high up. This gives you an idea of how high up they are.
Yeah, I think I went and looked. I think it's about 105-inch out of level, so like almost 9 feet, um, almost 9 feet of fall from the front of the house to the back of the covered porch. So,
Mhm.
which is what gives this view, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. But yeah, to contend with that, obviously, we're prepared for that in the hill country. We do that all the time. Our foundation contractors, our engineers, like this is where they live, work, breathe. Like they know how to do this stuff. This is not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and thank you to the Johnson family for showing us your wonderful home.
Thank y'all very much, and thank you, Eric, for going out there and doing that. That was really cool. That is not exactly close to home, so but I know you go to all of them, and I want to point that out. He goes out of his way to be sure he attends all of his customers once they move in to their home.
Mhm. Yeah, he goes and sees all of their houses, so that's amazing. All right, we do have a couple more questions.
Bring 'em on.
We've got Amy saying, "I know we aren't supposed to ask political questions here," and this kind of flirts with that line.
That's
I'm a
Don's
rebel.
rule, not mine.
I actually didn't say you couldn't ask the questions. I said we weren't going to talk about it, which this is an economic question that
Yeah, this is
we're
not
gonna
political.
answer.
I'm about
Yeah,
to go off on that.
it shouldn't be, at least.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so in our opinion, do you see interest rates coming down by the end of the year, or do you think this stalemate will last?
Wonderful question, Amy. I'm glad you asked. And yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
this ought not be a political question, guys. Y'all don't have to worry
Yeah.
about asking us questions about interest rates, anything financing, anything like just because our idiot media or idiot administration or idiot opposite side, whatever you want to call, like just because they politicize it doesn't mean we have to. Like this is
Right.
a genuine
Exactly.
question that affects all Americans, especially people who are buying our product and especially us who live and work in the home building industry every day. So it ain't political. It's a very honest and relevant question.
Yes.
And so I believe my crystal ball prediction was they would hold rates steady in July and drop them in September. I'm maintaining that. If they're not dropped in September, so I don't know if you probably read the news that I think for the first time, I could be wrong, someone will fact check me, but maybe since the 90s, that two of the directors on the 12 on the board of the Fed dissented. They didn't have a unanimous vote. It was like 9-2 or something, absent of Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, him being the 12th. But that's not a thing. And then one of them up and quit 2 days later. So there's clearly something wrong in that room. If you've got two of those people saying it's time, and they're unanimous, 29 out of the last 30 years, every other month, it's worth saying that at some point this is truly just a stalemate, a power struggle contest. I won't mention his name, but I visited with a very prominent financial whiz guru, not because he wanted to see me, because it was a serendipitous encounter at a hotel.
Happened to be in the same place. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eric geeked out a little. Yeah.
I fangirled, flat out fangirled. But what he's very accomplished financially, very well connected, has sold over 30 million books,
Mhm.
and made it abundantly clear that what is going on behind those closed doors with unelected officials is about the most un-American thing that you could consider. Um, the idea, the way he put it was, if our founding fathers knew that there were 12 unelected people behind closed doors making monetary policy, they would go back to their closets, get their muskets, and start all over again. That was really his opinion. And I understand where he's coming from, and I don't necessarily disagree with him. So there are no economic reasons based on historical instances where the Fed has dropped the rate that they would not drop the rate. Inflation is at or below where it has been in the past when they dropped the rate. Unemployment is at or below where it has been or above where it's been when they've dropped the rate. So in other words, he's running out of reasons not to drop the rate outside of just political. Also, I think Jerome Powell's worth about $200 million and doesn't really care what your interest rate is, personally. If we're going to get it, that's where the borderline political is going to get. And so doesn't have a clue what regular working Americans are up against. But the system's the system, and that's the system we've got right now. It's still the best in the world, probably. But all that to say, if they don't drop them in September or in November, someone's going to have a lot of answering to do, because there's no reason not to anymore. When you have other large entities, Europe about the same size as us, they've dropped them like 7 or 9 times or something like that over the last year and a half. So what are we doing? So anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Amy's asking if you kidnapped the celebrity. I can confirm that Eric did not, in fact, kidnap the celebrity.
Only because I was headed to an event after.
there were a lot of witnesses. He had somewhere to be.
True.
And the celebrity probably had way more security than we do.
That's true. Yeah,
it would not have been a successful attempt either way.
It would not have been. But he was very kind to indulge my barrage of questions, which I had lots.
Yes.
One of which was, why would the Fed drop the rate? By the way, Amy. So you're a genius.
Jennifer's asking, can we trade a larger light for 2 to 3 pendants for over the kitchen island?
All the time. Yeah. We see people do that all the time. We have small pendants, big pendants, whatever you want to do. But yeah, absolutely. We can do that. Yep.
And then Phyllis is asking, can you share the dimensions of their pantry?
I went and looked, Phyllis. It's about 7 by 6. Pretty close. Maybe just a hair smaller than that. But yeah, it's about 42 square feet is the size of their pantry. I think their door opened in, Dawn. I want to.
Yes, that's what I'm seeing on the plans.
So you can do that, or you can open it out, which actually gains you a little bit of space, depending on how it's used. Mine opens in also because it's open 92% of the time. So if it were open, it would be in the way of the hallway, kitchen kind of situation. So I'm team open it in, but if you wanted to open it out, you could, and actually gain another 2.5, 3 feet of shelving space.
Yeah. Or you could do what they did in that one bedroom with the closet. You could put in a barn door, and then you don't have to worry either way. Yep. And then Martina is asking, will you guys add on to homes you have already built?
Oh, Martina's been so long. We actually don't. We don't do remodeling. We don't do add-ons. So yeah, I'm very sorry. A good place to start would be at the local kind of home builders association, because most of them, especially the larger ones, they have a remodelers council. And so I would at least start there. They're willing to put their reputation out there in front of other people. That's a good thing to start there. Another good place to start, if you live in more of a rural, smaller area, I would go to my local McCoy's Building Supply, and I would ask them, because they deal with a lot of commercial accounts, both new home construction, commercial construction, remodelers. And they know who are the reputable ones, and most importantly, they know who pays their bills. So that's definitely important. So yeah, hello, welcome back, Martina.
Okay, awesome.
She said hello.
She says hello. And Amy says she agrees with our assessment. So hopefully other people are listening and agree with Eric.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Jerome Powell's tuned into Tilson Live, no doubt about it.
Well, you've said his name enough now. We're probably on the list.
And Eric's no longer available. He disappeared somewhere around August the 6th.
And this live disappeared from YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Dawn.
It's okay.
All right. Well, thank you all very much. Obviously, thank you very, very much to sorry, to the Johnson family for sharing their home with us. I'm grateful for that. Thank you for trusting us, obviously, to build this. You have a beautiful piece of property. And thank you, Eric McKiernan, for driving out there and getting this done. Thank you, David Bibiano, for doing the videography. I don't know if your wife saran wrapped your mouth shut or what happened, but you disappeared after you asking your question about AC. And then, Don, we got a sneak question from Jonna.
Yeah, Jonna's got our favorite question. How customizable are your floor plans, if at all? So Jonna, one of our used to be our sales managers who worked for us for many, many years, Holly, summarized this the best of anyone that I've ever heard. All the changes that you can make to our floor plan are governed by 3 laws: the laws of physics, building code, and your budget. So really, you can customize our floor plans almost however you like. We really only have a handful of things that we will not do. But yeah, you can make any changes. So as you can see this video, they made a lot of changes. This is actually pretty light for Tilson standards. But you can change whatever you like, just as long as it fits within those 3 things. So yeah, very, very much can customize.
So thank you all for watching. Obviously, the journey doesn't have to end here. We have 12 locations open 7 days a week with model homes to tour. The Brazoria, you can actually go tour in Spring, Texas, like Don said at the beginning. We do have the new Cisco model open and ready for viewing in the Weatherford location. And of course, every location has their own models. We got a website that's open 24/7. We got new home specialists there on standby. They're not there 24/7. They're real humans and they have lives. But you do get to talk to a real human. It's not a chat bot. It's not an AI bot. You're talking to real people, award-winning, nationally recognized, best in the country people. No big deal, humble brag. But that's who you're talking to, and they can schedule those appointments and get you into those design centers so you have all those questions answered. We do have Wagon Hill Home Loans, our joint venture mortgage company, to get that easy buy financing lined up for you, get you pre-qualified there. Additionally, we got a Facebook page. We got an Instagram page. We have a YouTube channel with hundreds of hours, dare I say thousands of hours of content. And if not, you know what? It will be eventually. So
it will be soon.
Yeah, it will be soon. So go there, binge on the content, ask all these questions, watch the videos, watch what other folks have done. Dawn and her team have it very well organized. You don't have to just watch us. There's customers, there's testimonials, there's construction videos, there's what else is there? Oh, home tours.
Warranty tips.
Yeah, warranty
all kinds of
tips.
things.
Yeah. You can go see Christy and Jason and their team. So anyway, we want you guys to have the most information possible so you make the best decision for you and your family. We genuinely appreciate you watching, and we hope to soon make you part of the Tilson family. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, everybody.